Hey guys, CJ here. I'm continuing my series of going over my demos from Season 10 of Premiership Highlander. Spoilers coming up. If you haven't watched the casts, I mean it has been over a month, so you should have got around to it by now. But for those of you who don't know the results, maybe best not to listen. But my team did go on to win, so we are back-to-back Premiership champions now. And we covered the grand final. Those were the first two videos. We had a look at CP Gullywash, which is a 5 CP map, and we also had a look at PL Upward, a payload map, and those are the two maps that we played in the grand final against Fair Enough. I've had a look at the other maps from this season, and a lot of them I covered in Season 9, and I don't want to go over the same sort of stuff. So if you want to look at maps like Badwater, you want to look at maps like Viaduct and things like that, I have plenty of demo reviews from the Season 9 series, and I've also got plenty of POVs where, you know, it's live action. I'm actually, you know, live recorded from UGC Platinum in Season 18 when my team won, so we got lots of maps there. But one map that wasn't covered in Season 9 is Payload Borneo, okay, PL Borneo, which was a new map that was added in. It replaced Gravel Pit. We did go over Gravel Pit last season in Season 9, so I thought I would have a look at Borneo. Now there are two times that we played Borneo this season. We played it in week 3 against TC Ambition, which we won, and it was very, very quick, and we didn't really cover much of the map. I mean, it was only really the first point because we won rather comfortably. So I'm going to take a look at the semi-final, because before we got to the grand final we had to play a semi-final. We played against a team called the Bureau. They're a team that got promoted into Prem, and you know, they got to the playoffs. They knocked out High Panda. We have lots of experience playing against them because we played them in the grand final of Platinum UGC, where we beat them across 2 maps there. So if you're interested in seeing that, that's obviously in a different playlist. But we played against them on Badwater, and we won that 2-0, and we moved on to their map pick, which was Borneo. So we were quite comfortable on the map Borneo. We do like payload maps, and we did learn it quite well. We actually won a pre-season cup, and Borneo was in the map pool. But coming into this game, they were very prepared for it, so it was a really, really good game. So we're going to take a look at both rounds now. I'm going to stop talking and actually get into some action. And what's it called? There we go. We got Borneo 1, so we're going to have a look at this. So this is a payload map. It's been around for a long time. I remember playing it back in Season 7 of UGC. That was only my second season of playing Highlander. I started out in Season 6, and it's now Season 18 of UGC. So, you know, it's been around for 11 seasons, and it's been off and on in UGC, and now I think for the past, I don't know, 6-7 seasons or something like that, it's been in UGC. But this was the first time it's been in ETF2L. My team just yelling in chat. But yeah, so we were attacking first by the looks of it. So this was over a month ago now, and I have largely forgotten what happened. So it'd be good to actually just review this demo and actually point out where I went wrong and see where things were wrong. So here we go. One major thing before coming into this game, for those of you who know about my team and know about our lineup, you can see we've got Thalash playing Soldier there. Now normally Thalash is our scout, and Raptor is our soldier, but Raptor was unable to play in this game. So we put Thalash on soldier, because Thalash can play like pretty much any class, and we put Ast on scout, and Ast is an absolute beast on scout. So those two play very well together. They play for Perilous. They play on the same 6v6 team, so their coordination is very good as well. So a little roster change for this game, but in general we were okay. So in spawn, just, you know, I've got my Uber, just popping off a odd couple of Ubers because you know, it's habit. And I'm just making sure people are buffed, and we're just kind of seeing how things go. And that's the thing, when you're a medic and a payload and you're attacking, you're just kind of sat in spawn, and you just kind of, my job, I'm just jumping around, but my job, I'm looking at the kill feed, because sometimes the action's so intense when the people are actually doing their suicide runs and stuff like that, that, you know, they might kill something and they don't know what they've killed. Or they might, you know, do something and they're not sure what they've done, because, or they can't say it because they're too busy trying to, you know, actually play. So I try and keep an eye on the top right, and you know, I know all of the players on the other team as well, so I know if a name comes up which player has been killed, or if a sentry goes down or something like that. So at the moment we're just trying to get an Uber force. We do actually kill there. On the top right you can see Scripps on, he was the enemy sniper. So enemy sniper down is a really big pick on payload, and that can be enough if you're comfortable playing you know, in an Uber versus Uber fight. Then that could be enough to actually come out of spawn. I'm just waiting for my respawns. I've got my demo now, and I'm walking out because, you know, I'm not worried about getting sniped. There was a couple of moments in this game, I remember now, where the sniper almost got me, almost dropped me, because we've waited far too long here. Like, we should have just gone straight in. We've delayed, and the sniper is up now, and the sniper is watching the cross, and bam, I use it there. You see how close he was to hitting me. I'm not sure if that actually hit me or not. So I'm just trying to flash my Uber. I'm keeping a lot of it on my scout so he can run forward and get straight into them. Normally I probably should have put more of that Uber onto our demo, because he was, you know, the one doing damage and stuff. I'm just trying to use my arrows there just to get burst heal, and then I get killed by a sticky trap that nobody saw. So that was really unfortunate. I still, actually looking back at that, if you guys please comment in the video, look back, rewind, and tell me where that sticky trap was. Was it on the crates? Was it on the wall? Because everyone ran past it, and even I didn't see it. And then their soldier goes kind of ham there, and kills like 3 or 4 people. So we get the first cap point, but you know, our transition over to second, we could have rolled that and taken second by now. So that wasn't great. Like, you know, we should have see, one thing there, I saw the sniper tracer line, right? And my pyro there was shooting at the sniper, and he was telling me when the sniper wasn't peeking. Now if I just walked across there, the sniper would have killed me if he was looking. But because my pyro was saying, right, cross now, bam, I go across, he doesn't have a chance to kill me. So we're trying to push this right hand side, which seemed to be, you know, the way people pushed. You know, obviously this was a fairly new map to the teams in the league this season, but we've got control of this right hand side. I'm just trying to keep people alive, and our demo man wants to go in and says that they're close, so I'm trying to keep trying to flash it between my demo and my pyro. On the medic here, I was going to go for the Ubersaw on the medic to try and get the next charge, but he uses his kill bind, which, you know, on his part is a smart thing to do, because that way he's not giving away Uber, and he's, you know, getting his spawns up nice and quickly. But that was really, really good for my team there. We just kind of, that's what I was going to say. I was trying to keep it on my demo man, and so that he could do the damage, but also keep it on my pyro so that he wouldn't be killed and he could keep the medic in, so he was constantly hassling. Now that spy kind of decloaked there. I managed to catch him that time, so our pyro is on the lookout, but I'm just trying to be aware that I don't get backstabbed, because a lot of people are fighting at the moment, and, you know, I can't always have someone watching my back. So we've got Uber, but we lost a couple of people, so that's why I've backed off. Now this area is quite safe because it's past like a choke point. I've got my demo and I've got my soldier, and they can just spam the choke point. So if anything wants to kill me, they have to get through this doorway, and they're just going to get spammed out. But the call here was to use the Uber, and I dropped my demo, so that was really bad on my part. Ali said afterwards, he never blames anyone. He always says it's his own fault. But he was saying, oh, you know, I tried to challenge the sentry, I shouldn't have done that. But I should have flashed him there to have kept him in the fight. When we play with Ast on Scout, it's very different. He does take a lot more Ubers. And then the Spy was just constantly behind us there, and yeah, I should have been checking my back there. So that was my fault. Needs to be a bit more aware. Obviously I didn't know the Spy was there, but I should have been aware that the Spy could have been there. You know, that's the thing in Highlander. You never, a lot of the time you don't know where the Spy is, but you've got to know where he may be. Our pyro is very good at saying, right, the Spy is, you know, at this position, or, you know, he should be crossing, you know, onto our side of the map at this point. So that really does help. But on a payload map, sometimes when you're attacking, it can be quite difficult. Now our soldier's asking for the heals there, which, you know, I should have given him heals, but our demo man was in a fight and he was doing damage, so our soldier wasn't in any immediate danger there. He could have waited. Okay, he was 3 HP. He could have died from some random spam, and that would have been annoying, but I felt in that position it was more important for my demo to be in the fight and, you know, doing that damage. But we do get the Uber force, so we now have 100% Uber, and that's why our scout is with us. We like to push with the scout, and we're pushing him. Basically, I managed to get my demo man in this time, and I'm flashing both my scout and demo, trying to keep them in, get them doing damage. And I've just fallen back a little bit. Our spy there goes huge. If you look at the kill feed, he backstabs the heavy, the medic, and then headshots the demo. So Toast is an absolute beast, and he can come out with plays like that. Scrambled says in the chat, can you not put us in a frag video please, because that was a huge play, and it was caught on the cast as well. If anyone wants to watch the cast of this game, check out Blackout Gaming TV. It will be one of the latest videos on there. So in this position we've now got an Uber advantage, because obviously we killed the medic in that exchange. I'm at 60%, and we're aware, I like to do my research on teams before I play them, so that I know kind of the way that they're going to play, and I'm expecting, knowing the enemy team, that they're probably going to switch to quick fix to get some sort of charge up, which is, you know, something that I might do myself on certain maps. So because we lost our pyro, he's not going to be in this fight, and I've used very early here because I was scared of the sniper, which is really silly because I don't think the sniper would have hit the shot. I probably gave him a little bit too much respect there. Our sniper though does get the enemy medic, so saying that, you know, there was 2 pyros there. I was like, which one's the real pyro? Which one was a spy? So I want to know what happens here, because I don't think we actually get this push. So yeah, the sniper kills our demo, and we all just kind of get a little bit scattered here. So I think things just descended a little bit chaotically towards the end there, but I do survive. And we did kill the medic, but like I said to my team, we killed the medic. We should have an advantage, but we probably won't have that big of an advantage because I haven't been healing. And that's something to remember. Just because you kill the enemy medic, you got to remember that they might be building really, really hard by, you know, getting their scout to hurt themselves, or soldier to hurt themselves to build Uber really quickly. And if you're not building efficiently, then you may not have as big an advantage you may think. And I'm just trying to make my team aware of that. But the cart is really close, as you can see on the little graphic at the bottom there. We're at 90%, and we're so far in already. We've got players in, and I'm just saying, right, let's get into the spawn. And we decide we're going to do it with a pyro this time. They have a pyro, which makes it difficult, because the pyros are just going to air blast each other away. We want to get the pyro in there to do damage. Spy gets the backstab onto the medic, which is really good. So they've got no heals now. So I'm just saying, play heals, keep me alive, deal the spam, and you can just force this cart in with brute strength. Now our pyro goes for the cart there. Now this is really bad from me. Now I'm going to say, I'm not one to criticize my teammates very often, because, you know, it's not often we do something majorly wrong. But I felt there that if we'd grouped up together on the left hand side, you know, our pyro and our heavy, maybe we could have collapsed onto the cart from the spawn rather than going in from main. But that was a big mistake from me. I could have got out there quite easily, but you know, you can say miscommunication, that I thought my team was still in the fight, but I should have erred on the side of caution there. So that was really poor from me. I could have got out through left side or through main much earlier than I did. But we're still kind of in this fight. We're kind of dry pushing it. We've got a couple of kills, and I'm just on main now, and I'm just going to arrow people, you know, as they're trying to sneak cap the cart. Our pyro is really good at that. Our pyro, I can't get the classes right. Our engineer is really good at that. In that he focuses the cart really well at really good times. And there he managed to get the cart like right onto the edge, and that's why I'm just trying to arrow him, so that if someone hits him with, you know, a rocket or a sticky, and I get that arrow, it keeps him alive for just a few more seconds longer, that he's just a distraction for a little bit longer. And sometimes, you know, that's why maybe engineer is not a class that a lot of people like, because you do have those situations where you literally just have to sacrifice your life for the cart and be that distraction. And because of that distraction, our spy was also on the cart to help that out. we managed to just send everyone else in and just focus. And then that's what I wanted to do in the previous push where I died, was to have my pyro on the cart and me healing him. He can air blast stuff away, and he's not going to die to, you know, a couple of stickies or, excuse me, or something like that. So that kind of re-push there, that dry push, worked really well. We had some really good picks here and there, which kind of made it for us. So 9:48. Generally, you know, if anything's over 10 minutes on a payload map, we're not very happy with it as a team, and I would say in general. 9:48 is very close, but Borneo is quite a long map, and it is a map that you can hold for quite long on various points. So just there, I was buffing my scout and my soldier because they're holding on the far hand side. This is kind of a hold that, you know, it's not the hold that the Bureau, the team we're playing, it's not a hold that they decided to use, but it's a hold that a lot of teams use where they have their flank classes play on the far right hand side and the combo playing on the left hand side close to the sentry. So just, you know, there's a couple of seconds left, don't want to be standing in the sniper sight line, but I just buff my scout and my soldier so that they have a buff for when the gates open. And at this point I'm just trying to keep myself protected, and our team's doing a really, really good job in just in keeping people alive. My soldier there asks for an arrow, so I'm just trying to find that angle where I'm not exposed, but, you know, I can get that arrow across to them because they don't have much heals. They have a medium health pack there, and it's shared between the scout and the soldier. So if they ever come to me for heals, unless there's a fight going on, unless there's a really intense fight going on, I want to buff my flank because they want to get back into their position. Whereas, you know, I can heal my combo classes while they're around me, you know. So at this position it's really important I keep my sniper really healed and my demo really healed, because my demo wants to be constantly spamming the cart, and they use the Uber here, so they've killed our engineer and they've killed our sentry, which isn't really good from our point of view, but we deny the Uber really well, and our pyro just pushed them back, and our demo did a lot of spam that forced them to back off. So again, you see I give a cheeky little buff to my scout there, because we are still kind of fighting. But you can see in the kill feed, Thalash killed the enemy medic there, which was really good. So our soldier killed the medic. So that gives us a little bit of breathing room. You know, they're not going to be pushing with heals anytime soon. That allows me to buff up my team. Allows our engineer to, you know, work on getting his sentry up and stuff like that. Something about the health packs there, something I like to do as a medic, because obviously I can heal everybody else, but I can't heal myself. You know, obviously you can heal yourself if you can increase your healing if you heal someone who's more injured, but generally you can't heal yourself. So if I don't need the med pack, I will tell my team, I say take the med pack. Like I will literally, like, I'll say to someone take the med pack, like I just did there. Give him an arrow. I know that if he takes the med pack, he's back up to 300, and then everything else is just buff. And it's just kind of that on the spot thinking, which, you know, and a teammate might think, oh, I'm not going to take that med pack because, you know, you might need it or something. But if you tell them, you know, and the same works for sandwiches as well. You know, you can tell your teammates, right, you can take the sandwich, or engineer take the sandwich. So there's another Uber here, and they're kind of leading him with the pyro. I flash my scout there because I can see the pyro's going off to the right hand side, and I want him to be able to, you know, hunt him down. And he's trying to fight him there, and he does win it in the end. And that was a really, really good exchange from our point of view. I saw the spy there. There's an interesting little corner that you can uncloak there. But in general, our sniper, you can see, is on a 9 kill streak. He's just a constant harassment. We do lose our demo a couple of times. So we lost our demo just there, but because everyone else survived, it allows us to kind of hold this choke with our presence rather than just, you know, spamming. And he's going to be up before they try to push again. Our scout, meanwhile, is going ham on the flank as well. So our scout's on a 6 kill streak, our sniper's on a 10 kill streak. We're really holding this position well, and there's only a minute to go for them to capture the first point. So we've still got, you know, 6 minutes and 10 for them to capture the entire map, but we just need to hold this point for, you know, 45 seconds. So in this position, I'm trying to keep everyone calm because people are getting excited. We can hold them at first, and I'm saying, right, it doesn't matter. If things go wrong, we can still get out. We've still got a lot of time. But our demo there kills the medic, and this is basically a free Uber for me. I miss my arrow, and our spy dies to the soldier. So that was silly for me. It hits a little pillar there. You can see the candy cane sticking out. So that was unfortunate. Toast is our spy, and he's very good to have as like a second sniper. and I'm just trying not to get too like cocky here. I don't want a spy to come back and drop me, because if that happens, then they could capture first. They could roll on to second. They could still feasibly do this. And I'm just going to use my Uber here because they're coming in. We have all of our players. We can just focus the cart, get the kills on the cart. Now they have to focus the cart. They have to stand on the cart because it's overtime, and we can just focus our spam onto the cart. And because of that, they can't manage to push it. So they couldn't push first. So that was the first round. So in the context of the semi-final, we'd won Badwater 2-0 at this point, and we just won the first round of Borneo. So we were feeling really confident. So we move on to the second round now. And in the second round, we defend first. Because it goes ABBA, A, B, B, A. So if you attack first in the first round, you defend first in the next round. So we'll just see us sitting in spawn, and then it will switch to us being on the defense. So based on that first round, we were pretty confident because holding a team at first, excuse me, obviously you got to think it's going to affect the enemy team's morale if they weren't able to capture first. But also from our point of view, we were really happy with the way we held first, and we were feeling comfortable. But in the same vein, you don't want to get too confident. You don't want to get too cocky. And that's generally one of my roles in the team, is to make sure, if things are going bad, to make sure people don't despair. But also, if things are going really, really well, to make sure, right, guys, if shit hits the fan on this point, then we got to get out. We got to get out, and we got to defend second. And it's all about keeping everyone's minds level. But basically, it's the same setup. We've got our sentry here. We're gonna have our flank on the far hand side, far right side, and yeah, just making sure I buff my flank when they need to come to me, and things like that. But just to talk about the map quickly, I do like Borneo. I think it's an interesting map. There are some aspects of it that I don't like, but there's little things in each map that I don't like. But in Borneo, it's quite a decent map. It's nice to have like a jungle themed map. So yeah, once again, I'm just my priority here is just to make sure I don't get backstabbed. Our pyro will usually tell me about when the spy's going to cross. Now their sniper there gets 2 kills. He kills our scout and our heavy, but then our pyro gets a reflit kill onto the heavy and the scout. So we've traded scouts and heavies. That obviously is better for the attacking team, but because we got those kills, it meant that they're probably not going to push. Now the call was that they've used crits here. Now in crits, I want to keep my team alive, and I don't want anyone to die. My person I want to keep alive the most is the pyro, because our pyro can reflect the stickies away, and also the demo, because he can get free spam. If they're running crits, that means they're not invulnerable. So demo and pyro. Pyro can reflect the damage away from the rest of your teammates. Your demo can do the damage onto the rest of the classes. Now we lose 3 players there. We lose our scout, our soldier, and our spy, as the enemy pyro did his own reflex job. So that pretty much means we lost our flank. And in the situation we were in currently, because we just felt it was best to back out here, because we didn't have that presence on the right hand side, and because they had presence on the right hand side, we were like, we're not going to be able to hold this. Let's not risk it and get wiped. That's one of the key things in payload, is knowing when to get out of a capture point. In that position, we felt we wouldn't be able to hold first properly. So we get to second. Okay, so we gave up first after a minute 35, but it also means that we're now going to be able to hold second. Now, because they were close, and I think they were still running crits, or we had an advantage because we killed their medic. I'm not quite sure the exact... That was really close. Almost die there to that. But we get really aggressive there. And that's something a lot of teams don't do when you're defending. Don't get too aggressive that you overextend, but if your entire team's there, you have an advantage and the medic's right in front of you, just Uber your team in, collapse on them, get all of those damage, get all of those frags. This was really poor. The spy bumps into me and I turn around, so he shanks me and then he pistols me down. Maybe I should have been more aware about that. I'm gonna take like 60 to 70% of the blame there. Should have been more aware that he could have been there. I think, you know, because we were in such an advantage, maybe I let my guard down a little bit. But yeah, I should have been a bit more aware there. But also, you know, my teammates could have reacted a little bit faster because I bumped into the spy and I yelled spy. But yeah, most of that I should have been a little bit more aware. So we're playing a little bit more passive here because now they have an advantage. So we don't want to be stuck in that house and for them to do the same thing that we did to them. You know, we don't want them to just collapse onto us. And I'm just trying to keep my combo classes alive. Now I'm trying to tell them both of you are very, very weak. You know, both my demo and my heavy are so weak. Now at this point, oh, the sniper could have got me there. So I didn't realise the sniper was that close. So I don't know. That was really, really close there. But to rewind a little bit back there to when they Ubered in, we had no Uber, and even though my heavy and my demo were really weak, I was pumping my heals onto my pyro because he can deny that Uber and he can push them away. If he pushes them away, then that allows my teammates to get out. Doesn't matter how weak they are. If I'd healed them, my pyro would have probably died, and then we'd all have died anyway. But as you can see there, our sniper once again is going huge, big cloudy. He kills the medic, and then he kills the sniper. So because the sniper died, that allowed me to walk a little bit further forward. If the sniper's down, that gives me a little bit more freedom of movement. Our heavy, they're just throwing down the odd sandwich, which is really helpful. Our sniper gets the medic again, but this time it was a body shot. So yeah, so we're feeling really good now. Okay, so we had to lose the first point fairly quickly, but we're holding this second point pretty comfortably with this kind of this left-hand side hold, and then the spy's there, but I call him out, and we're able to deal with him pretty quickly. As you can see, our scout is coming up to me every now and again, just getting a buff. Then he goes back into his position, and that's the thing. If you're a flank player, if you know that you've got like 10 seconds, if their flank's down, or you know that you've got enough support there, your soldier and your engineers or something like that, then you're able to go to your medic, get a buff, and then go back quickly, and then that helps you, in the future fights. Our sniper gets the enemy sniper again, so once again I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about being a bit more aggressive. I had to use there. Now that's I don't know. I didn't have to use there. If that second rocket would have hit me, I would have died and I would have dropped. And I didn't want that to happen. But my pyro was there. That anyway, he did get the reflect kill. But it was all about, I could have waited slightly longer to see if my pyro had got that reflect. But then that's like really gambling. Now at this point we're in a lot of trouble. They pushed through tracks, they pushed through where the cart goes up, they pushed a lot of players up through there, and because we had Uber disadvantage, I think they were running quick fix, they were able to just muscle us out, they were able to bully us out at that point, and then wrap around us. And I missed a couple of arrows there on my heavy. Maybe he could have done a little bit more if I were able to heal him there, but on the other hand our spy there just manages to get the med pick, so we're feeling okay. 6 minutes for the first 2 points is pretty decent, and now we're just focusing on the third point. We're just saying, okay, right, let's just do our hold on the third point now. Third point is, it's a point that you can hold really, really well, and really, really long, because there is this kind of upper area, but there we lose our heavy and our demo, and I think they got a little bit too aggressive in that choke point. Without the proper heals, and that just screwed us up a little bit, and our demo dies again. I'm not sure what happened there. It says he craters in the chat, and I'm in a really bad position here. I don't like this, which is why I use on my pyro. He was 2 HP when I used it there, and all he manages to do, I mean, he has to focus that heavy, he has to kill the heavy, but it does mean that they do once again have an advantage, and I do think at this point they were running quick fix. Now I'm trying to arrow my now this was silly. I go for the Uber saw there, and that kind of goes for the same thing earlier on when we were pushing last. when I thought our team was still in. I maybe should have just backed out there, and I could have maybe healed my teammates if they were playing a bit more passively, which I think they were. But instead I tried to go to get Uber Saws. My idea in my head was to get Uber Saws onto the medic, maybe kill the medic, if not at least to get an Uber, and then we were able to collapse on them there. But obviously that wasn't the best call because my teammates weren't in that fight, and I was just going to get melted there. So that was a really, really poor decision from me. And I think maybe again that was perhaps slight overconfidence with the entire situation. It does happen to me as well. So we're now back on last, 7 minutes 44. This is we would like to be holding a lot more for this. Obviously in the first round we held the first point, but then we're getting kills here. We get the demo, we get the medic, we get the pyro, we get the heavy. They were trying to push on the left hand side. Our sentry was there, and what we did, we leave our heavy on the right hand side. I pump the heals onto the left hand side and make sure everyone there is getting the damage, and we just managed to kill them as they weren't invulnerable. So we're still confident we can get a decent hold on last here. Our engineer has again that kind of boring job where he doesn't have that much support, but he's going to get focused by the spy and other stuff a lot. But as he says it, if they're going for me, at least they're not going for combo classes. So we get the sniper kill there. Our sniper kills the enemy sniper, which allows me to walk forward a little bit more. It means that I know I'm not going to get sniped from a weird angle. When the sniper's up, I have to play a little bit more passive around the corner and stuff like that, because I don't want to get headshot. And really here it's all about making sure every doorway is watched by somebody. We lose our sniper now, so we no longer have that sniper presence, and the demo is allowed to walk in, and that's really, really unfortunate that I get juggled off. I get juggled off by that sticky. So if I'd used that Uber and I'd stayed on that ledge, I could have kept it on Ali and we could have forced them earlier. Now here I'm just I'm just staying in the demo's face because he had his stickies out. Okay, I was gonna die there, bar some sort of miraculous play. So my train of thought was to just stay in his face, and that way he has to switch to his pipes. And he has to land those pipes. Obviously, he does land his pipes. He's a good demo, and he hits that last pipe there. But in the meantime, some of our players stayed alive, including our scout, and he goes huge and just cleans up the rest of the frags when everyone was weak there. So that was kind of individual play there that really helped us out. But we do lose a few players there. We did lose our demo, which is why we're playing a little bit more passively. Like, my sniper is there, and I'm telling him I can see the dot. I can see the dot on the wall. I'm saying the sniper is there, but because he's fully buffed, unless it's a charged headshot, he's not going to go down. And he does win the duel there, which is really good, which again allows us to be a little bit more aggressive now. We've got our demo man back up. I'm healing my scout because he's doing a lot of work on the flank, and I want to make sure he's able to fight the best he can. It's easy to overheal your scouts sometimes, but don't underheal them as well. It's all about getting it just right. I think our sniper got a body shot on the enemy sniper, and then our demo man finished him off with a pipe. And I'm just trying to, my soldier there is really good. He's telling me when he needs heals. Now I can't get across there without crossing through main and getting killed or something like that, or getting forced. So my best option is for him to jump over to me, or for him to ask for arrows, and he's just been asking for arrows. He tells me when the arrows is. If you're a soldier on the flank and you need an arrow, tell your medic, be in a position to be able to receive that arrow, and your medic should be able to respond to that. I think he's asking me again there. He's saying medic, and he's probably telling me in chat, and I maybe can't hear it, or maybe I'm just not listening, I don't know. But I should have been able to have shot an arrow over there. It was not like we were under pressure. So yeah, then there's a spy, and he was getting Ali quite a lot in this game, our demo man, which demo man is a really, really big pick on payloads, especially on defense. Now the Uber comes in and they get really, really far into spawn. We really don't like this. So I'm keeping it on my pyro now so we can kill this heavy. That's the plan. And then to collapse on everything else. Unfortunately, the demo man on the enemy team rotated around, and he wasn't called, he wasn't dealt with, so he got huge amounts of damage. But our demo man manages to pipe him and kind of clean up with the help of the rest of the team. So it was once again, it was kind of, they killed me, which, you know, obviously killing a medic is a big deal in TF2, but in the same way, if the rest of your team survives and is able to collapse onto the remaining players after the Uber, then it just works out really well for us there. So that's what it's all about, is positioning yourself after an Uber fight. You know, during an Uber, sometimes it's Uber versus Uber, you know, you just get this kind of pyro air blasting thing going on, or, you know, people trying to find someone who's not Ubered. See, now our spy there kills the medic, so now we have a huge advantage, and we know that. I was there trying to kill the spy, or at least force him to uncloak, because I knew he was going to come for the sentry, but I wasn't able to do anything, I wasn't able to do enough there, and the sentry does go down. So like I was saying, yeah, during Uber fights, you know, you're obviously trying to focus people who aren't Ubered and deal the damage to those players, or just air blasting, denying Ubers, whatever, you know, position you're in. But after the Uber, you need to be in a position where you're not just going to all die anyway once the invincibility fades. And on the defense, our team was doing really well. Now I'm backing out through spawn here because the sniper was called in lower left. Now if I'm holding in the position where I was normally in top right, I'm going to get sniped. Missed an arrow there on my sniper, and I really should be healing my sniper here. It's an awkward situation. I want to make sure my fighting classes can fight, but also my sniper needs to be buffed so he can deal with the sniper. But because the sniper was called lower left, I have to rotate over to a position where I'm not going to get sniped. You know, that's my priority there. Now because I was no, this was poor from us. This was poor. We don't actually if you look at the kill feed, there you go, Ali kills the medic there. He does kill the medic. So the sniper was all called on the right, which means I had to tuck into the wall to make sure I wasn't in the sight line. And somebody said that the medic's really close, we can Uber into them, because we knew we had an advantage. So we Ubered in, but there was a pyro there, and the medic got out really, really quickly. Our demo man just chased him down, and I remember watching it on the cast, he just pipes him a couple of times and kills him. So it worked out in the end. But that could have gone wrong there, because the medic wasn't as close as we anticipated. But yeah, like I said, I survived, and then our demo man kills the enemy medic again. I think that looked like a little cheeky trick stab there, like a little matador going on, to take down our heavy. So no heavy, so we don't have that 450 HP meat shield on the right hand side, so we just got to be careful. And our demo man just walks forward, kills the enemy heavy and the enemy demo. So, you know, he does really well with his aggression, and that there I should have healed him more. And yeah, I've left my, so that was our pyro and our demo die, and that was kind of my fault. I should have stuck with them there. That was not a good choice of me to fall back that far. And I get backstabbed there. Looking at the video now, I can see that there was a shadow underneath me. But yeah, that was I think that's my first drop in this game, and my only drop, I think. I'm not sure if I dropped later or not. Can't remember. I switched over to quick fix because, you know, I'm not going to get a charge in time. But I die as soon as I walk out of spawn. They just have so many players on the spawn. At the moment, you know, as a team, you just got to throw bodies on the cart and delay it for that extra few seconds. You know, when they manage to push that far forward onto your spawn, and you don't have anyone alive except for those coming out the spawn doors, it's very, very difficult. 16:46. So we defended for 16 minutes and 46 seconds, which is a very, very long time. I mean, I think the longest I've ever held on this map was 19 minutes, or just shy of 19 minutes. We did have quite a lot of 18-minute times, but those were really, really long times, you know. So we're happy with this. We're happy with 16:46, but it does mean we have to cap all the way to last. So They could still hold us at first point, they could still hold us at second point, you know, all these kind of things. So again, I'm telling my team, okay, it's a really, really good time, but we still need to beat the time. We still need to attack. You know, this round isn't over. And that's a mentality that sometimes people can kind of, they can get a little bit lax. They defend for a really long time, or they attack really quickly and they think, oh, the round's won. There's two phases in competitive payload. You still need to attack, you still need to defend after doing the first phase. So again, we're just looking out, trying to eye up position, and then there's a pause. We have to pause because Ast had to answer the phone. Our scout had to answer the phone, which it was really weird. Like there's like 1 second left to go in setup time, and he's like, pause phone. So yeah, so our scout was answering the phone, yeah, this kind of just gives us more time, I suppose, to talk about. I mean, that's the time in between rounds during the setup time when you're attacking to plan what you're going to do. We now know where the enemy team's holding because we've been looking through that grate. That's what our heavy does that all the time. I always want someone to do like an SFM of my heavy, just looking out the window, because whatever map we're playing during setup time, he's just stood there like staring out the window, just like, you know, dreaming or something. But he's always, realistically, he's always looking for, you know, where's the sticky trap, where's the enemy team holding. And I think what he was telling us, that the combo was holding in the left hand side. So this team held in a very different way to the way we held. Obviously, you know, how's the saying go? The better the devil you know. You know, if you hold in a certain way, then often you're the best one to know how to break down that hold. Or you know the weaknesses in your own holds, so you can try to exploit those weaknesses if other teams try to use the same holds. But they're using a different hold. We felt that this hold that they were using was weaker, but they did it on the first round, and you know they're sticking with it. So we trying to, like I said, exploit what they're doing. Try to see the best way, and we feel just do what we're doing, you know, and yeah, just kind of we had some issues, like somebody on the other team was possibly getting DDoSed, the enemy sniper, but he managed to rejoin the game, so there was no issues, which I think this was the only pause during the game. Now that I've said that, there might be another pause. But yeah, we were just kind of you see our engineer there using the panic attack. He does use the panic attack. If anyone wants to see like him get a 3k on the combo, I think it was a 3k. It was in the semi-final playoffs last season, season 9, on Barn Blitz, and our engineer just runs in with the panic attack, takes down like the medic and the heavy, yeah. I don't want to fast forward, because if I fast forward, then actually I might fast forward. I might just speed things up a little bit. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Oh, I think we're ready. So I think we're going to go unpause now. So we're going to start the round. So back to where we were thinking, getting ready to do my medic thing, which is just buff people and sit and spawn until something happens. My team just yelling in chat. And then our heavy went to the toilets. So we started off with our scout needing to answer the phone, and then the enemy sniper was having internet issues, and then our heavy had to go to the toilet. He's going for a poop. So mid-game toilet breaks, and he's back. So we're going to get ready now. So yeah, just like we do on attacking phases in payload, buff the players. Most important players to buff, I would say, are those who are going to be pushing the cart, which usually is the scout and the engineer, and those who are going to be doing suicides, which is, you know, your demo and your soldier. They're going to be the ones who are going to be jumping forward. Everyone else is important to buff as well, obviously. You know, heavy and pyro are going to be involved in suicides as well. They may not be jumping physically in, but they're going to be there present. And also your sniper. You want your sniper to have a buff so that he's not going to get spammed out quickly, or he's not going to get quick scoped by the enemy sniper. Now we do kill the enemy pyro there, but on a map like Badwater, that might be a really big pick, because Badwater, the pyro can easily deny a cliff push on first point. But it's not that huge on this map. But it is fairly huge. He's going to be up for respawn anyway, but we do kill the heavy as well. So we use the Uber here just to force them, and then we're going to collapse on them and chase them, because they've used in a really, really poor position. Now we've got our spawns much closer to them. We just go into them, and we're just leading with our damage classes. Trying to stay behind this rock because there is a sniper, and I don't want to get headshot. I don't want to get body shot either. And we managed to just basically bully them out because of that early Uber, which is, again, one of the reasons we felt that that defensive hold wasn't that good. Now the sniper was looking there, and I was like, whew, he could have got me there. He could have got me through that crack. But our spy there gets kills the enemy engineer. So he was carrying his sentry and he killed the engineer. So we have no sentry to deal with, and our soldier killed the sniper. So no sentry and no sniper means we've got all of this freedom. We can walk pretty much anywhere we want now, because we don't have to deal with the sentry, and we're not going to get headshot. And we have Uber, but we lose our demo there. And this is a really poor Uber from us. Maybe our demo was in too deep, I don't know. I felt he was, if I felt that he was, I would have said fall back, but I thought we were going to get the Uber in time to keep him alive. Now our heavy was in a good position here, and I was like, come in now, come in now. He comes in from underneath, and okay, so I get headshot, which isn't good, but our combo wins the combo fight there. We kill the enemy demo heavy, and that allows everyone else to just push forward and capture that cart. It's always good to have someone to walk with you when you spawn. I'm not building very efficiently here, but it's better than not healing at all. I was like, which way are we going? We're going left? And we didn't want to go left, he wanted to go this way left. So we finally meet up with the rest of our team, and we've got like 50% Uber now, so we're doing pretty well. But the spy there is, he kills our engineer, which is slowing our cart pushing, because our engineer is the one who's doing the cart pushing, and I'm really close out, and I'm really not comfortable right now. Slightly more comfortable now that the enemy sniper has died, but we're just kind of dry pushing this at the moment. We don't have an Uber yet, and there's a lot of people who are weak. I'm just not happy with our positioning at the moment. But finally the call comes to push in, and I'm taking my scout in deep. Now this, I remember this. I thought I could have killed him there, because our scout did so much damage to him. I thought I can get an Uber saw and then have an Uber advantage. But for some reason, he decides to focus me instead of the scout. I don't know. I suppose it was a good decision because he gets the medic kill, but I don't know. In my mind, for sure, I thought he was just going to try and kill our scout and then kill me, And I thought, if he's doing that, then I can kill this heavy, because I saw that he got the health pack, and our scout had done like 200 damage to him. And I thought, our scout's going to land one more meat shot on him. Now this is just trying to keep my heavy alive as long as I can, and because of those arrows, he did enough damage to the enemy heavy. It meant that our pyro was able to finish him off. I'm falling really far back here because of the players we lost. We were worried that they were just going to push out on us aggressively. But we got our demo and our scout. We're just going to take them in, try to get the damage, try to get the kills. That huge god pipe from our demo man, Ali, takes the medic down. So now we're in a position where we have Uber advantage. I have a cheeky peek And I see that there's a sentry up there. I'm like, guys, we need to deal with that sentry because our team can't push the cart. But now this is pretty much the third point capped out for us now. I've rotated around to tracks just to give a couple of buffs to the people pushing the cart. So just like I was saying before in the first round, you don't want your that's an awful arrow. I don't want my cart pushers to die really easily, because otherwise we're not going to be able to push the cart. And things are getting very scattered here. Very, very scattered. It's all getting rather chaotic. They're trying to do an aggressive hold. We have an Uber advantage. We do have Uber now. We're just saying, let's take this through tracks. Let's take it straight onto them. I use there because I notice our demo is really, really weak. And I didn't want him to die. But because of the way they were holding, they managed to get out, and they do get that Uber. Is that my fault? I thought my pyro would be able to deny it, but I should have been holding further back anyway. So, that is my fault, and I'm just I was stood on the sentry. Sorry, I was stood on the teleport, and my engineer was like, "I haven't built an exit yet, dickhead." And I was like, "Oh, sorry." But still, we got 10 minutes to go. 8:50 if you're looking at the round timer. But that is still a lot of time. That's still a lot of time to be able to push it. But before now, there have been positions where we've been in positions like this, and we haven't closed out the round because we haven't been able to push last. So we're still trying to stay focused. We don't want to get too overconfident, but we are getting some good kills here. And this is where we want to come in. We want to come in deep left and just put the spam down on the balcony area as much as we can. Then our demo and our heavy split up. And it's really good because look at our demo. He manages to kill the enemy demo and the sentry gun. Now I'm like, oh, can I get Uber? I get the Uber just in time. We do lose our heavy because obviously I was focusing on getting the heals on my demo. And then I get a kill. I get an arrow on the soldier as well. And at this point it's so chaotic because the cart is so close. The people pushing the cart have done such a great job that the enemy team has to focus that cart area. They have to throw bodies on it to physically stop it. Which means you can look at our scout. He's just getting kills. He's just going huge because they have to physically be on the cart. And because of that, it puts us in a really good position. See you then, Steve. There. And yeah, and that enables us to just take the high ground then, if you're a scout, you can see Ass there did a really good job. Okay, so Scout's job is to push the cart, blah blah blah, because he has ×2, but in that situation, because the cart was so close, they had to physically get on the cart, which meant he could take the high ground and he could just kill the stuff behind, and then everyone else could just come in, collapse on that cart area, and eventually just force the cart in. So yeah, that was a really good push. So that would have been a push of about 6 or 7 minutes, I guess, because we still had 9 minutes left on the clock ish. So that was really good. So that was the semi-final. So you guys have seen both maps from the final. You've seen this map from the semi-final. Like I said, I've covered all of the other maps before in season 9, and there isn't too much difference. There isn't too much that I could go over without repeating myself. So that's it for the season 10 series, I'm afraid. There is some stuff, if people are still watching the video at this late stage, I'm always interested in your feedback, so please let me know in the comments, let me know what you want to see. I do have the live POVs from the pre-season tournament before season 10. We had a couple of different players. We played the final with our full roster, but it was Corv playing instead of Ali. So if you guys want to see that, that is live, kind of us talking. You'll be able to hear the comms between the players. I have the quarterfinal, the semi-final, and the final. So that could be 3 different videos. They are different maps. It does include Borneo, but there was a couple of other maps as well. One of them was called Alloy, and we did play Asheville in one of them. So if you guys are interested in seeing those, let me know. I've also just finished my 6v6 season. My team plays in the high tier in 6v6. We didn't manage to make the playoffs this season. We made the playoffs last season, but this season we had a lot of roster issues. But there are some demos there. I've got a very interesting demo of my team playing on Reckoner, which is a new map. We had a Pyro, because we had Steve playing Pyro for pretty much the entire game, and we had a lot of snipers. So if you want to see kind of different tactics and me talking about that stuff, let me know. Other ideas I've had is going over some demos with my teammates. So if you want to see different POVs, I could get the demos from, you know, maybe my Pyro, my Soldier, Sniper, something like that, and then we could be in Mumble and we could kind of talk about stuff, and, you know, I could demo review them, but also they could tell us what they're thinking. So those are all ideas I've got on the competitive side of stuff. So if you guys want to see that kind of stuff in the future, please let me know in the comments. Please give me that feedback, because that's what I try to do. I want to make videos that you guys want to see. But thank you for watching. I hope this series, short as it was, has helped you on some different maps. We finally got to see a 5CP map. I do have a UGC Platinum season, so there may be some live POVs coming up soon. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, thank you for watching. Feedback in the comments, please, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.